Valtteri Bottas fires Lewis Hamilton warning ahead of new Formula One season. Hamilton won his fifth world title last year with a lot of assistance from his teammate. At one moment during the Russian Grand Prix, Bottas, who was leading the race, was told to let Hamilton pass by Chief Toto Wolff. But the Finn expects to be given a level playing field this season as he hopes to compete for the championship. Bottas insists that he has an agreement to be given a fair shot at challenging Hamilton at the front of the grid. "I have no concerns, because we have agreed something already a couple of years back and it's going to be up to my performance," Bottas said via Crash.net. "Obviously we'll see how the season goes. Last year there was a big gap between Lewis and myself, then things were slightly different. It's going to be up to me, so no concerns." Mercedes struggled in their first week of testing in Barcelona. They were the third quickest behind Ferrari and Red Bull. But Bottas is confident of his ability to battle with Hamilton and Sebastian Vettel this time around. "My target for the year is to win as much as I can," he said. "I didn't win a single race last year, and there is only one target for the whole season: the World Championship." "For me personally and also for us, as a team." Bottas is also out of contract at the end of the season, so he is fighting for his Mercedes future. Esteban Ocon is waiting in the wings if the 29-year-old fails to make the grade. Next news: Lewis Hamilton makes surprise career admission, "It's not something that interests me." Hamilton has won 5 Formula One world titles and is closing in on Michael Schumacher's all-time record of 7. If the Brit ever eclipses the legendary German, then it would be entirely understandable if he hunted down other career achievements. But he has no plans to compete for the Triple Crown, of which he has already won one leg. Hamilton is a multiple winner of the Monaco Grand Prix, but he would also have to clinch victories at the 24 Hours of Le Mans and Indy 500 to achieve what only one man, Graham Hill, has done before. "I had never heard about the Triple Crown until last year," Hamilton told Radio Marca. "It's not something that particularly interests me or is something I want to do." Hamilton will have come across the accomplishment because ex-Formula One driver Fernando Alonso quit the sport to complete the challenge. The Spaniard only needs to win the Indy 500 this year to add his name to an exclusive list. And he will be racing for McLaren in the event at the end of May. Meanwhile, Hamilton is focusing on clinching his 6th F1 world title. But he faces a stern test this year, especially after Ferrari and Red Bull were both quicker than Mercedes in the first week of testing in Barcelona. "I have no idea at the moment," Hamilton said when asked who would be his main rival in 2019. "I've not been looking at what they've been doing, but I have to assume that they're all currently contenders." "There's not just one of them, and I'll find out when we get to the first couple of races. Probably the first 4 races you'll get an understanding of the true pace and the consistency of the cars and the drivers." Next news: Lewis Hamilton, F1 star makes aggressive Valtteri Bottas claim. Won his 5th world title last season, with Bottas ending down in 5th. The Finn did not win a single race, finishing second on 7 occasions. But Bottas ended off the podium on too many occasions to challenge for the title, with being Hamilton's closest competitor. Ferrari have had the better of the first few days of pre-season testing in Barcelona, though Hamilton impressed still. And the Brit knows Bottas can up his game with Mercedes this year. "I'm not someone that generally has expectations of anything, but I would assume that he's going to try and be more aggressive this year," Hamilton said. "I'm sure he's going to be pushing harder. I'm sure he's pushing harder on his training. He's always been incredibly determined since the day he got here, and that's not wavered." I'm sure he knows where he's got to put his focuses to, working with his guys on the other side. I see the top of his head beyond the screen, so I don't really know about his difference in approach, but I'll see that once we get into the racing this season. Every teammate has different qualities, different way of approach, different values, and different work ethics. Ultimately, I would say Valtteri has been probably the most all-rounded driver that I've worked with in that respect, and probably the most humble driver that I've worked with. Bottas had helped Hamilton on plenty of occasions last season. During the Russian Grand Prix, for example, Bottas was leading when told by Mercedes chief Toto Wolff to let Hamilton pass. But the Finn thinks it will be fairer this year. I have no concerns, because we have agreed something already a couple of years back and it's going to be up to my performance, Bottas said via Crash.net. Obviously we'll see how the season goes. Last year there was a big gap between Lewis and myself, then things were slightly different. It's going to be up to me, so no concerns. Next news: Lewis Hamilton, Valtteri Bottas will leave Mercedes at the end of the year. Expert. Valtteri Bottas was handed a 12-month contract extension last year after helping Hamilton scoop his 5th world title. However, the Finn was only able to finish 5th in the standings, despite having an equally strong car. That has led to many supporters and pundits questioning whether Toto Wolff will hand his No. 2 driver a further extension after this year. Mercedes have Esteban Ocon as their 3rd driver for the upcoming season after he was replaced at Racing Point by Lance Stroll. And Schurer reckons the youngster will get the nod to replace Bottas come the end of the year. "Yes, I believe so," he told Speed Week, when asked if Ocon will take Bottas' seat. "Otherwise, the Mercedes Junior program is not working. They have to do that." Hamilton enjoys working with Bottas as they came together to win the championship double last term. The positive relationship is in stark contrast to when Nico Rosberg was at the Silver Arrows in 2016. "We do talk about things with the car and work together, which I don't know if I've ever experienced that in the past," Hamilton added. "He's such an important reason why we have such a great atmosphere in the team, and he's helped us deliver 2 world titles in 2 years." Bottas knows he must have a strong season if he is to stay on with Mercedes beyond this year. But has Hamilton seen any difference in his teammate after they returned for the first week of practice? "All I've seen is that he has a beard," Hamilton said. "I'm not someone that generally has expectations of anything, but I assume he's going to be more aggressive this year. I'm sure he's going to be pushing harder in his training. He's always been incredibly determined since he came here, and that's not wavered. He knows where he needs to put his focus. I don't know much about a change in approach, but we'll see when we get to the races." Thank you for watching the video. Be sure to share and subscribe to your channel to get the latest sports news around the world. Wished health and success. Goodbye.